All right, so you ever feel like, you're kind of tongue-tied at work?
Oh, yeah.
Like when you're trying to make conversation and it just like falls flat. We've all been there, right?
Absolutely. Happens to the best of us.
So, good news. Today's deep dive is going to be super helpful, I think.
I think so, too.
It's all about, well, this document we're looking at, it's about how humor, like just casual conversation, can actually make a huge difference in your work life.
You wouldn't think it, would you?
Right. You think of work, you think serious, you think deadlines, but
But it turns out, like, those little moments, those little chats, they really add up.
they really do. And this document is cool because it's not just like tell a joke, haha.
No, it's much more strategic.
It's strategic. That's the word.
Right.
Like it even gets into grammar stuff, which I'll admit I was surprised by.
Oh, grammar can be fun, trust me.
Okay. Yeah, we'll see about that. But seriously, this deep dive is going to be packed. First off, we're going to tackle, like, what's the whole point of humor at work? Then what's okay to talk about, what's not.
Yeah.
Because nobody wants to be that person.
Especially at work.
And then the big one, how to be friendly but still professional. Like, where's the line?
It's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It is. So let's jump in. Why even bother with humor at work? Isn't it all about, heads down, get stuff done?
Well, you'd think so, but honestly, studies have shown, and this is pretty cool, that teams that laugh together, they actually work better together.
Really?
Yeah, like it's wild. It's like humor's the oil in the machine, right? It helps everyone relax, it reduces stress, and here's the big one. It helps people connect.
As humans, you mean?
Exactly. Not just as coworkers, but as, like, people. And that makes a difference.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So it's not about being a comedian.
No stand-up routine needed.
It's about creating, like, a good vibe. Okay, so moving on. Let's talk about small talk.
Oh, small talk, everyone's favorite, right?
Yeah, it gets a bad rap. But I think this document makes a really good point about it.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's not pointless. It's like the bridge to better conversations.
Exactly. It's the warm-up act, not the main event.
The warm-up act. I love that. So how do we do small talk right then?
Well, here's where that grammar stuff comes in, and this is something the document emphasizes.
Okay, hit me with it.
Present, continuous, tense.
Uh-oh. Grammar flashback.
But don't worry, it's not a pop quiz. It's actually really simple and powerful. For example, instead of asking someone, what do you do, which can feel a bit, like an interrogation.
Yeah, job interview vibes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You could ask, working on anything exciting these days.
Oh.
See the difference.
Yeah, it's way less formal.
It's less about their JOB title, more about what they're actually doing, what they're passionate about right now.
It's more engaging, too. Like, you're inviting them to share something they're into.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm liking this already. So the present continuous tense. What other examples are there?
Well, think about when you walk into the break room and see someone refilling their coffee mug. Instead of just saying, hey, how are you? You could try enjoying that coffee.
Oh, I like that.
Right. Or maybe looking forward to the weekend. These small tweaks make the conversation more specific, more personal.
And less robotic.
Exactly.
Okay, this is great. I'm actually excited to try this out. So, are there any other phrases the document recommends besides, working on anything exciting?
Oh, absolutely. One that I really like is that reminds me of.
Ooh, that's a good one. I use that all the time.
It's so versatile. It's a natural way to weave in your own experiences.
And make a connection.
Yeah.
Without getting too personal, too.
Right. Like, let's say someone's talking about a challenging project. You could say, that reminds me of this time I was working on brief, relevant anecdote. It was a nightmare.
And suddenly, bam.
Yeah.
You've bonded over shared struggles.
Exactly. It builds rapport and shows you're listening, you're relating.
This is awesome. Okay, so let's put this all together. Imagine I'm at the office. I run into a colleague at the coffee machine. How would I use all this stuff we've talked about?
All right, show me what you've got.
Okay. Hey, you're looking busy. Everything going okay?
Good start. You're showing interest and using the present continuous tense.
Okay. Then maybe I could say something like, that reminds me of this one time I spilled coffee all over my keyboard. What a mess.
Well, hold on there. Remember, it's about connecting through shared experiences, not just hijacking the conversation with your own story.
Right.
Maybe try something like, is that your second cup already? That reminds me of when I was working on the Henderson project. I was practically living on caffeine.
That's much better. It's more relevant to what they're doing.
Exactly. It shows you're paying attention and finding common ground.
Okay, this is like seriously helpful. So we've talked about the power of humor, the magic of small talk, but I know the document also gets into some like trickier territory.
Oh, yeah, the stuff nobody really wants to talk about.
But need to. Like, when is humor just not okay at work?
Right, because, look, a joke that lands with one person might totally flop, or worse, offend someone else.
Right. And it's not always easy to tell.
Exactly. That's where awareness comes in. The document really emphasizes things like cultural differences.
Oh, that's huge EE.
Huge. What's hilarious in one culture can be super offensive in another.
Yikes.
So you got to be careful, do your homework, know your audience. Same goes for, like, inside jokes. They can make people feel excluded.
Oh, yeah, like you're in on something they're not.
Exactly. And that creates division, not connection, which is the opposite of what we want.
Right, right. So humor can backfire.
Yeah.
And there's also, like, the whole power dynamics thing to consider.
Oh, absolutely. The document brings up a really good point about that. A joke between colleagues might be fine, but coming from a boss, totally different story.
Oh, yeah. Like, it can feel pressured.
Exactly. Or even worse, like harassment. So if you're in a position of power, gotta be extra careful.
Okay, so basically, think before you joke.
Think before you joke, know your audience, and when in doubt, err on the side of caution.
Solid advice. So to, like, wrap this whole deep dive up, it's not about being the office clown. It's about being smart with humor.
Absolutely. It's about using humor and casual conversation strategically, like we've been saying, to build those good vibes, those strong connections.
A kind that make work, less worky.
Exactly. More enjoyable, more productive, more human.
And that's a win for everyone. Now, here's something to chew on. This document, it's all about face-to-face interaction, right? But what about now? Like, so much of work is remote, it's online. How does all this translate to the digital world?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Yeah. Something to think about, isn't it? Like, how do you build that rapport through a screen?
Definitely something to ponder.
All right. Well, that's our deep dive for today. Hope you found it helpful and maybe even a little bit funny.
Always aim for a little laughter.
Until next time.
See you then.